Boy, oh boy, welcome to the Sporting Casual. AJ versus Helenius. Let's just get straight into it. Let's see what's happening. Let's talk about it. So, as we know, Dillian White fight got scrapped. Third drug test. Finally, they've come out pretty quickly about this. And to be fair, you got to give Eddie Hearn his props. I know they love to shit on him. I'll put it bluntly. But he's gone on TalkSport today. He's held his own against Simon Jordan. I see the votes on Twitter. People are saying 62% of the TalkSport audience are saying Eddie Hearn won that debate. I like Simon Jordan, but sometimes I feel like he kind of waffles a little bit. He don't really know what he's talking about. And I think Eddie Hearn pulled him up quite a bit today, especially when he was like, all right, get Robert on the phone. That was funny. But anyway, AJ versus Helenius. Am I disappointed? Not really. Is this what I expected? No. In my previous video, I spoke about how I thought they would go with the Gerald Washington fight because it's probably the lowest risk. This is actually a little bit more of a risk because Helenius is a bit of a puncher. He can bang. Pause. But he's fragile right now. Obviously, Deontay Wilder knocked him into next year. And I think this is not a good fight for AJ. Not because he's a big puncher, talking about Helenius, but actually, the optics are going to be bad. Because AJ is not knocking Helenius out in one round. I can guarantee that. If he does, I mean, I would love it to happen. I'm an AJ fan, bro. I'm not going to lie. I'm an AJ fan. I want to see him do well. But he's not knocking Helenius out in one round. So that kind of leads us to a bit of a problem because automatically the fans are going to start comparing his performance to Deontay Wilder's performance, which he's not going to match that. And I remember, I don't know if it was around the time that AJ fought Ruiz, but there was like a big comparison with how Wilder dealt with Brazil versus how AJ dealt with Brazil. And obviously, AJ fought Brazil before Wilder did. But I remember that Wilder fight happened close to AJ's fight. And there was a bit of like, look at the way that Wilder dispatched of Brazil and AJ couldn't do it for like 7 rounds. And I think that put a little bit of pressure on AJ to, show up and show out. And AJ doesn't seem like the kind of fighter that deals with pressure very well. I mean, he's had pressure his whole career, being a golden boy and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like from a personality aspect, he doesn't like pressure. And when it gets on top, especially in fights, it just feels like he doesn't have that rawness about him that I wish he did have and I want him to have. But in terms of the fight, I just think like from an optic standpoint, it's not going to be great because although I expect AJ to win and get it done within 6 to 8 rounds, the negative here is that it's going to take him 6 to 8 rounds. And then all the fan talk is going to be, well, Deontay Wilder did it in 1 round. So it doesn't look great. I think it would have been safer for them to go with the Gerald Washington option because although Wilder also beat Gerald Washington, it took him about 5 rounds or 6 rounds, if I remember correctly. And that was a decent fight. I remember that fight. And Washington was boxing pretty well. So at least if AJ beat him up and got rid of him in 3 or 4, it would look good. Gerald Washington is not a big puncher, so he's not going to knock you out. Well, he shouldn't knock him out. And Gerald Washington's actually beat Helenius, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, man, I'm a little bit like, kind of like 50-50 on if I'm happy with it or not. But the show must go on. It's not pay-per-view anymore, which I think DAZN are going to really struggle with this pay-per-view stuff because they don't have the fighters to be putting on pay-per-view shows. I don't think the big fights are there at the moment on their platform with the stars that they do have. They don't really have any marquee names. And I do think Eddie Hearn is on a bit of a back foot when it comes to DAZN and the situation that they're in. But I want them to do well. I want anyone in boxing to do well, whether it's BT Sport or TNT Sport now, Frank Warren, Ben Shalom. I don't care. I want everyone to do well. I have no dog in the race. I have no favorites. So, yeah, man. And the fact that they scrapped the Dillian White fight and got this on so quickly is a testament to them because Eddie Hearn admitted that, yeah, okay, last time they may not have done it right, the way they dealt with Conor Benn and that they didn't do it right. But this time they learned from their mistakes. And I think you can only, let's give them their props, man. We're ready to shoot them down when it's time to shoot them down. Now it's time to praise them. They did it swiftly. They got a replacement in. It might not be the best replacement, but it's not on pay-per-view anymore. You can get a ticket refunded if you want to. Boxing fans are so quick to complain about everything, especially the hardcore fans. This is called the Sporting Casual because I'm a casual boxing fan. But you can't complain about this. And the reason you can't complain is because there's not pay-per-view anymore. And you can get a refund if you bought tickets. Okay, hotels and stuff, I get that if you travelled in. But it's still a night out. AJ was hoping to win the Dillian Whyte fight anyway, so it's still a night out. It's still going to be a good time. So, yeah, man. That's my thoughts. I think AJ will get it done in 6 to 8, maybe. If he's on fire, he could probably get it done in 3 or 4. I doubt it, but the risk is there. And you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit about the Eddie Hearn, Simon Jordan thing today. Or maybe should I do a separate video for that? You know what? Let's do a separate video. I'll do a separate video. But anyway, what I'd love to know is, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think AJ is going to get rid of him better than Wilder did? It's already going to be difficult to do that, but do you think he can do it? Or do you suspect an upset? Helenius kind of coming in, you know, spoiling the situation here, because AJ's been knocked out in a rescheduled fight in the past, so it's not a good omen. So yeah, I'd love to know. Comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because, you know, the Sporting Casual, I did say I'll be doing videos every 2 weeks, but I also want to stay on top of the hot news and had a bit of time before I go cook some food. So yeah, like, share, subscribe if you want more fitness, boxing, that kind of content. We got loads of videos coming, and I'll see you on the other side. Also, if you hit one of the links in the description, you can actually join my newsletter, where I do a weekly newsletter about high performance, looking your best, feeling your best. And yeah, anyway, that's it. Peace. Leave your comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Bye-bye.